bop along, explore with me. B-O-P, come bop along with me. B-O-P, come bop along, explore with me. B-O-P, come bop along with me. Bop!
Hi, I'm Bop. Guess where we are today? The beach. We're going to see rock pools and sand and all the amazing kind of things that you find and can play with down at the beach. At the moment, the tide is out. It's at low tide. The tides make the sea move in and out, and they're controlled by the moon and the sun a little bit. So when it's full tide or high tide, the sea is right up at the beach. But when it's low tide, it pulls away from the beach. But what that exposes is lots of rock pools for us to go and have a brilliant explore. So let's go and see what we can find at the beach. Look at all of the sand on the beach. Sand can take thousands and even millions of years to form because it is actually ground down rocks and shells from the sea. So sometimes you'll see beaches that are more pebbly, covered in little stones, and then some beaches like this that actually have a lot of sand. One of the really cool things about sand is melted sand is actually glass. It's made into glass. One of the things you can also find at the beach, and there's some here, is sea glass. What this is that man-made glass that's been thrown or littered into the sea gets smoothed down over quite a long time, and then you have this beautiful sea glass. Another brilliant thing that you can do when you're on a beach is look for shells, and there are loads of different types on this beach. In fact, there are over 200,000 types of mollusk in the world. So let's see what we can find here. Already, I've seen a little bivalve. So thus, as you can see, the little animal would have lived in here. And actually, their shells are exoskeletons. So they grow them and they get bigger and bigger just as the animal inside grows bigger and bigger. They don't shed them or change their shell, apart from hermit crabs. Another little guy that I already found is this little mussel. Don't they have beautiful colours? The different colours on shells are amazing, and this is such a beautiful blue. And there are so many on this beach. We found a razor clam too. That's another little bivalve, but this guy is shorn off here. I wonder what shells you find at the beach. I'm going to keep these for later because we're going to do a little craft with some of our shells. Ooh, we've just been looking around all the rock pools to see what we can find, and I've just spotted a beadlet anemone. Have you ever seen Finding Nemo? They live inside an anemone, don't they? And you have all the little tentacles that are out, and they're stinging tentacles, and that's how the anemone gets its food. And even though that looks like such a small little animal, they can have up to 192 tentacles. Isn't that loads? So they use them and they sting shrimps, crabs, mussels, and that's what they'll eat. But luckily, they're not dangerous to humans, just really cool. Before we do some more exploring and see what other amazing things we can find, let's sing a song about the sea. Shall we sing A Sailor Went to Sea? Yeah? Ready, steady, here we go. A sailor went to sea, 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 to see what he could see, see, see. But all that he could see, 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 was the bottom of the deep blue sea, sea, sea. Well done. See if you can get the right action for the right meaning of the word sea. Because even though it sounds the same, one is the ocean, the sea, and another one is what the sailor can see. And we're going to see what we can see in a minute. Ready? Ready, steady, here we go. A sailor went to sea, 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 to see what he could see, see, see. But all that he could see, 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 was the bottom of the deep blue sea, sea, sea. Well done. Let's go see what else we can see at the seaside. a really big rock pool. Now, even though when you look into it, you might not see lots of life moving around, you always want to be careful when you're out with the world, with other animals, not to disturb them. You don't want to disturb their environment. So you shouldn't really be stomping your feet through a lovely rock pool like this. But if you're quiet and sit still and have a look, you can find lots of things like little shrimp, little crabs, beadlet anemones, as well as looking at all the little bits of seaweed and algae and plants that are already living in this amazing ecosystem. Wow, look at that little guy. Sorry for disturbing you. We'll put your house back soon. See all the beadlet anemones on this rock as well. Wow, that was so amazing. You never know what you're going to find when you turn over a rock at the beach. Woo! Another amazing thing that you can find at the beach is seaweed. This seaweed here is called bladder's wrack, and it has attached itself to a rock so it doesn't just float away all the time, but it also has these little air sacs here, and they help it to float, because just like plants on Earth, the seaweed also needs sunlight for photosynthesis. Now, the really cool thing about seaweed is it actually provides more of our oxygen that we need to breathe in than the plants on Earth do. It's really, really important for the world, and it helps to reduce pollution. And it can also be really good for us. It's in lots of creams and shampoos, and you can eat lots of different types of seaweed. But don't just pick up and eat what you find at the beach. You really need to know what you're doing and which types are safe to eat. Let's go see what else we can find. Loads of other little animals live their whole lives on the same rock, like limpets. They sucker on with their little kind of foot, and they stay stuck onto the same rock. You also can see lots of little shells that might have had little sea snails in them. And if you look into rock pools, you can see lots of them sucking around as well. So now we're going to do a little beach craft. We've gone and collected a few more shells, found some more interesting ones like some big clam shells, and we're just going to make a little face. If you are not close enough to the beach or don't have any seashells, you could go into your garden or out on a walk and see what things you can find to come and make a little nature face with me today. So I'm going to start and making this really silly one. Maybe a big nose right in the middle. Definitely going to use our razor clams for a big smiley face. Make it as silly as you can. What'll I do? These might be eyebrows, I think. And I'm going to use some of the bivalves that we talked about for nice little eyes for my little guy. I like it. You can go crazy and do as many little things as you like. Like give him some little ears. And you could keep going. Oh, I think I might go and get some seaweed for some hair. I found some crazy seaweed. That's my little funny face. We would love to see any pictures of amazing little faces that you make from any of the natural world that you find outside if you're not near a beach. Please share them with us at BopTime on Facebook or BopTime on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe and follow along for lots more. Lots of love. See you next time. Bye.
B-O-P, come bop along, explore with me. B-O-P, come bop along with me.